who's reading at the 2nd grade level, and you can get that kid up to 3rd or 4th grade, that's outstanding work. And we want to be able to recognize that. But the current law doesn't, but that's what we would like to change.
And what you can do, what you can do. It all sounds wonderful.
Congressman Deutch, Dr. Ravitch would like to respond to some of the questions and some of the issues that this gentleman brought up. Can you get her back on? She's got to sign off.
Just ask one more question, and we'll come back.
Well, I'm here tonight. I came to talk about education, and it's just amazing to me that we're in a room talking about education, and the whole focus is on the teachers. I am a minority in this room for more than one reason. One of them being that I am not a teacher. I want to know, what are we doing to strengthen those families? You know, I hear a lot about diversity in the classroom and all that. Okay, what are we doing to make sure that we're pulling black children, because let's be honest, most of what we're talking about are black and minority children, and I'm looking in this room and I'm not seeing a big representation of teachers or anybody else that are educating these kids. And I want to know, what are we going to do to pull these children out of poverty? Okay? And I also want to know what is happening with SES supplemental education and other tutoring services and things like that. Is there a commitment to continue this to get the parents involved? Because more parents should be here in droves talking on behalf of their children.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like actually Michael and Dr. Ravitch. I know that there is the two of you could debate a lot of issues. If you could spend a minute, and Dr. Ravitch, you can comment on anything else too. But if you could spend a minute drawing a distinction between the approach that the administration, the Obama administration, has taken to dealing with poverty issues, to dealing with a lot of the issues that were just raised by this woman, and address the difference between the approach taken by the Obama administration and the approach taken by the administrations like the one in Tallahassee and the one in Madison and the one in Columbus and the one in the others all around the country. That would be helpful, and then if you want to respond otherwise as well. Please, Michael. Please.
Great. So one thing, the woman is absolutely right that just spoke, that made that incredibly important point. This is about a community approach. This is about ensuring wraparound services. This is about ensuring that we pull in and leverage the resources in our communities to ensure that kids from cradle to career have the supports and resources that are absolutely necessary. It is imperative that we close the achievement gaps. There are very real achievement gaps in this country, and we must do everything we can to support those efforts. I'd also like to say that the efforts that are going around the country and some of the legislatures around the country, we think there are other ways to do it. We think there are better ways to go about, whether it be for collective bargaining or budgeting reasons. There are efforts like in Illinois where the legislature actually worked with the unions to change the way they actually provide tenure. It didn't end tenure, it reformed tenure. And unions were at the table and came together to decide, how do we address, right? We have an economic situation where in many districts it's the last in, first out. And we're going to lose really good teachers. We need to ensure that there are means of addressing how do we keep the best teachers. We need to work with our teachers, with our unions. Some of these efforts are not, and that is not what we're about. We held a labor management conference in Denver. We had 150 school districts. We had the superintendent, we had the union leader, and the school board president. We had over 250 that wanted to come and do it. They all came together and said, we need to work together to figure out how do we improve teaching and learning. How do we improve outcomes for kids?
Dr. Ravitch, you have a comment on that?
Yeah, if I can speak to this. The administration has made the entire education conversation turn on what's wrong with teachers. and I'm going to take a different tack. I'm going to say teachers are not the problem. The problem is poverty, and I happen to have right in front of me a report that came out from the Educational Testing Service called The Black-White Achievement Gap, When Progress Stopped. When was progress greatest? In the 1970s and 1980s, when there was real movement in terms of reducing poverty, raising up the black middle class, also reducing class size, which was a big change in that era, and progress stopped. It essentially stopped with No Child Left Behind. And so when the administration says they're going to build on the gains of No Child Left Behind, they're building on a mountain of sand. Because No Child Left Behind gave us all this monstrosity of testing. We don't need more testing. Good teachers know what their kids need. We need testing to be used for diagnostic purposes and not to make judgments about either teachers or children. Children can do better, teachers can do better, but they need support, they need resources, they need help. They don't need to be punished. We don't need to be closing schools, we need to be helping schools.
I think we have time for two more questions. Maybe 3 more questions. Hold on.
I'm an arts educator in the middle school, and I can tell you there are so many variables that go on within the classroom. First of all, how many students there are, what your supplies are, and I can tell you they don't give me any money, I'm not budgeted. So my supplies are fundraising, begging for money, asking for supplies from parents, making them pay for the supplies. These are consumables. They are used every day and have to be replaced. I've spent a lot of my time doing a lot of fundraising. It's a travesty. Can you imagine this world without a Beethoven, a Mozart, a Michelangelo, a museum, without Travis Center? If you take out music, you take out arts education, but you can't judge me on test scores because I don't directly affect a test score, but I directly affect children. And I think that's what education should do. Directly affect children. When you use the right side of your brain and the left side of your brain, you will become a problem solver. You will learn to think outside of a box. If you make all of us do exactly the same thing, you are cookie cutting your teachers. You don't need a teacher anymore. Put a robot in the classroom and they can do exactly the same thing.
Hold on. This is, all right.
I have a question for you. I'm just curious what your degrees are in.
So,
I'm just curious. Before I make my point, I'm just curious.
Yes, I am not a teacher.
Okay, but I'm not asking that, but do you have advanced degrees?
Yes, I'm a lawyer.
Okay, do they help you get your job?
My mom is a teacher and my grandmother is a teacher.
Don't care. My point is, did those advanced degrees help you, and did they get you further? Did they help you know more about your field?
Yes.
Okay, so did my master's. So to tell people that there's a pathway to being a teacher in 5 weeks demeans my degree, my body of knowledge, and that I just, why in education would a master's not mean more?
All right. And I feel like Oprah. We're not getting it. Sorry.
Brandon Kemp, I'm a parent, Robert County. Just have a question. Can't hear me and I need to talk loud. We talked about the test scores, actually the evaluation of teachers. We were just talking that I think what happened with this teacher tenure, I think everybody's going about it the wrong way because, I'm sorry, but we do have some bad teachers that need to be taken out of the system. Unfortunately, it's affecting all teachers, and I think that's what's happening. I think the government needs to look at trying to come up with an instrument that would actually get rid of those teachers that are not doing the job, because they do make the good teachers look bad.
Mr. Deutch.
All right.
Oh my God. I need to say something. I'm very sorry, I don't need the mic. Okay,